Welcome to KingPlayer TV. We have a special guest today. Before we get started, I want to let everybody know on KingPlayer TV, if you like this content that we have, if you like videos for artists locally, if you like interviews, whatever it is you like, let us know in the comments below. Subscribe, like the channel, and we will continue to bring awesome content. All right, without further ado, we have a special guest in the guitar room today. But we like to, like everybody else, let you introduce yourself and let everyone know what you're doing in the guitar room. So, let us know who you are.
All right, my name is Chloe Wagenhauser, and I am the lead singer and songwriter for the local group, Chloe and the Steel Strings.
So, what are you doing in the guitar room today?
Well, I'm sharing a couple original songs, one that we have recently released, and kind of sharing our story a little bit. We are a newer group here in Toledo, but we're doing some exciting things, and I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Nice. Well, I like the talent. I love the guitar playing. So when I seen you on social media, I thought I gotta reach out and see if I can get you to do an interview, and here we are.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
You mentioned the name of your group. Let's start with that. How long have you been together, and what are some of the experiences you've had thus far?
Yeah, we've been together for about a year and a half, maybe a little bit longer. We started, we met at an open mic, and the band kind of formed around an album that I was recording of 8 original songs, and from there, in the summer of 2017, we played our first live show. It's just an acoustic duo, and it's kind of blossomed from there. So we're all in college at UT, playing in our free time as much as humanly possible, and really
right.
really enjoying it. It's a busy time of life for all of us, but I think music is what we really want to do, so
Nice.
We're enjoying it.
And the band's getting along great?
Yeah, we're getting along great. We live together in a house with the band, and contrary to popular belief, we haven't killed each other, haven't broken up.
In a band house?
Yeah, the band is, I would say, stronger than ever.
Nice,
So,
nice. Now you are playing acoustic guitar.
I am.
How long have you actually been playing?
I have been playing guitar since my freshman year of high school. I taught myself on, like some crappy $50 Epiphone. Like one of those guitars where you think to yourself, is the sound not coming out because I'm not very good, or is the sound not coming out because the guitar isn't very good? And it was the later.
Right.
But just kind of a hobby, and I've always loved writing poems, and I wrote songs before I could even play an instrument. I would just kind of sing a tune. Like I have songs that I wrote in like elementary school. So the guitar was just a fun added bonus.
Yeah, you never know. There might be a hit somewhere in some of that stuff you write.
Yeah.
So early on, you said you were in high school and going into later today. Who have been some of your early influences for guitar playing and singing, songwriting, that kind of thing?
Well, I would definitely say that, like I was saying, I play guitar mainly to sing with. So I don't pretend to be any fabulous guitarist. That's really not why I'm here. There's so many awesome guitarists in our area. I would way rather find someone, where that's their specialty and I just get to sing.
Sure.
But keeping that in mind, I really love Sheryl Crow, Elliott Smith, Sarah McLachlan, Michelle Branch, a lot of the both male and female. I love Pete Yorn, some of those 90s and early 2000s kind of singer-songwriter pop rock artists that, you think of Matchbox 20, like who doesn't love a good Matchbox 20 song? You know what I mean? Just some
Rob,
of those, some of
Rob
those.
Thomas is a great songwriter.
Yeah,
too.
he is. So I think a lot of the female artists in that time period aren't necessarily represented very often in terms of people playing covers, but also I think that's a really classic and kind of timeless songwriting period that I wish I had been older then to appreciate it more. So, but they're definitely some of my favorite artists. So,
Gotcha. So you mentioned the band.
Yes.
And tell everyone that's watching the difference between being in a full band, having your full band out, and a dual acoustic act.
Right.
What's some of the differences?
I would definitely say that we play more upbeat music with the full band, which to me is both good. It can be both a positive and a negative thing, because for me, I really love kind of the the sadder, slower, kind of more chill songs. And but again, it's like, you know, the full band is great. When you're looking to have a good time, I mean, it's louder, it's really full of energy. It's more like a jam band. So the as a solo act or a duo act, we're definitely more kind of singer-songwriter, and then the full band is like Americana meets like the Grateful Dead. It's an interesting combination, but we definitely have a lot of songs that you can expect to be like 5 or 6 minutes long.
Probably a lot of ideas coming from
there's a lot of ideas coming together. Yeah. I just let the guys do their thing, and I sit back and I'm like, you know, let me know when I should start singing.
So what's Chloe listening to nowadays? What's on your playlist?
Shaky Graves is on my playlist. If you haven't heard of him, you should definitely check him out. Our bassist Connor and I are going to see him in May, and he's it's like a blues folk fusion. He's really good. I think I mentioned to you before that I've been listening to Lucinda Williams a lot. He's again kind of like an alternative country artist with a kind of like a blues rock feel, and I've really been getting into her. So
nice. So what kind of music is inspiring you now? If you're looking to write songs and you want to draw on some inspiration, what would you personally listen to?
Well, I think I warmed up for you with a song called Acid Tongue by Jenny Lewis, and I think she plays again kind of like an Americana folk, but it's like a fresh take on that. And so I would say we're definitely kind of going in a direction that's like a little more Americana, a little more jam band, kind of trying to tie together a couple genres that you don't hear of being brought together very often. And I think we're in a very critical point in our discovery of our own sound. So it's exciting, but also a little confusing, I think, at times. But you know, we're happy to be on the journey. We'll figure it out.
Now that we're on the subject of band, and you're talking about your guys' evolution, what's the goal for the band in the next couple of years? Where do you see you guys at? Touring, originals. What's the goal?
Right. Well, so currently, our bassist, my boyfriend Connor, he's finishing his MBA at UT right now, and my identical twin Anna, who plays piano, and our guitarist Pete are both still at UT finishing up their degrees. So once they're done, I think the game plan is to kind of pick a city where, for the most part, you know, maybe they get jobs in their, you know, prospective fields. You know, maybe they don't, but we pick a city and we're all gonna go.
Infiltrate it.
Yeah, that's kind of the tentative game plan, I think, for now. So I'm expecting us to be in the area for maybe another year and a half. Max.
Maybe that could be the name of your new project when you guys get to the new city. Is there such a word called infiltration? Right? You just call your original new CD called Infiltration and go in that city.
Our next EP.
And take it over. There you go. You can do that. What's your thoughts on the current local music scene?
I'm very happy to be a part of the music scene here in Toledo. I would say that, at least compared to a lot of other places I've been, I mean, we have a lot of very talented people here, especially in a relatively, you know, small area. So there's a lot of talent here, a lot of very friendly and welcoming people, and we're happy to have been here and, you know, kind of get our feet wet in Toledo. It's been a good place to get our start, and I'm looking forward to what's next for us as well.
Good. You know, that big event, Acoustic for Autism, is coming up.
Yes,
Are you guys a part of that?
We are not a part of that.
Gotcha. I've been there on both sides, a part of it and just as a spectator. And that is the kind of hub of local talent, and all for a good cause. Right. So it's a cheap plug for you guys. Anyway, so if you get a chance, just get over there and get some of that good talent.
I would definitely say that while Acoustics for Autism is one of the bigger events in this area, my goal is that, you know, within the next year. So we're, far beyond
Yes.
some of those
Yeah.
events around here. But, happy to be here as well.
Sure. So, talk to me about if you had to play one song, what would that song be? Your most confident self sitting down in front of a panel of judges.
In front of a panel of judges.
Yes. You're going to showcase Chloe and the Steel Strings. What's that song going to be?
I would definitely say it's the single that we recently released called Wouldn't Wish on Anyone. I wrote that song my junior year of high school, and it has always been one of my favorites. Like, it's one that I'm like, oh, I feel like we should kind of wait to record that. Oh, we should wait to record that, just because it has a lot of special meaning for me, and just it's one of my personal favorites.
Nice.
And I feel very, very confident with it.
Yeah, sometimes when you write something and it doesn't go away,
right.
that means there's something to it.
Exactly.
Right?
No,
if you can
I
get
know
up
what you mean.
the next morning and you remember lyrics, or you remember the way the chord progression
Right.
is weeks from when you
Right.
wrote it,
You're like,
on
all right,
something.
if it's stuck in my head, maybe it'll be stuck in someone else's
There
head.
you go. There you go. So talk to me about the guitar. Why'd you choose the guitar? What is that?
Well, this guitar is obviously an Ovation, and I got it about 2 years ago at Heights Guitars. It was one of those things where I went in and saw it. At the time, I wasn't playing live. I was still just writing songs for fun. And I've played guitar and sung in my church band and, at school and different things. But Chloe and the Steel Strings had not yet formed. So I had no real reason to spend the money on it because I had no reason to plug in anywhere. But I was like, oh, I really like that guitar. Didn't buy it. 6 months later, go back, it's still there. And I took it as the universe giving me a sign that we were supposed to be together.
Right. That's how I am about guitars and amps too.
Yeah.
I'll give it, I want to get it right at impulse.
Right.
But you got to control yourself. So.
Yeah, right. I'm learning that more and more since we do have this band house and just all of the gear that's accumulated in the house. It's easy to be like, we have a jam room, kind of like this room where we keep our instruments.
Yeah.
But somebody buys like some congas. Somebody buys like a new amp. And you're just like, the whole area is just infiltrated by it's so funny.
That's something. So we'll ask you a few more questions before we let you go. So we talked about the band, we talked about the solo act and what your guys' goals are at. If you in the next 5 years could see yourself with the band, and we talked about you moving to a new city,
right.
More importantly, would you be strictly an original band, or would you just want to be in some place doing whatever it takes to get along?
I would like to be a strictly original band. For right now, it's great for us to save up some money, play some shows, because we're so young. I don't have a ton of principal to invest in things like gear and we still play through directly amps. Like if you come see me, there's no fancy equipment. I plugged a cord into an amp. I'm singing through the amp. There's no PA, nothing fancy. I definitely see us playing all original music, doing something where even if we're playing for small audiences who are invested in the music and love the music like we love the music. That's all I could really ask for. I don't need to make a ton of money. I don't need to have, some crazy fan base or anything. I just want to do what I love.
Sure.
Be loved in return. I think that's what, anybody wants when they're doing something creative.
Sure. Sometimes a smaller audience pay more attention.
I completely agree.
Just keep
Those
that
are some
in
of my
mind.
favorite venues, the smaller, more intimate
Smaller,
venues.
tight, intimate, they just pay attention.
Right.
They're there for the music.
Right.
You just aren't the background.
Right, and then you go out and you meet them and you say, hey, thanks so much for listening. And you make those personal connections, and that's one of my favorite things. We've been playing at a smaller microbrewery recently called Patron Saint that's just it's on Bancroft. There's a Middle Eastern market. I don't know if that would ring a bell, but it's a really small place.
Yeah.
People go in there, they talk to each other, they listen, we talk to each other, people yell things out, while I'm playing. That's kind of what it's about for me. It's a really fun environment. So I'd love to play original music venues of that same caliber
It's like a
around
real
the
market
country.
feel.
Yeah.
People are shouting out stuff while you're playing.
Democracy.
So before we let you go, let's go over all your social media platforms where we can find Chloe and the Steel Strings. Let everybody on KingPlayer TV know where you're going to be and how we get a hold of you.
Of course. You can find us online via our website at www.chloeandthesteelstrings.com, and that is steel like the metal, STEEL. You can find us on Facebook under Chloe and the Steel Strings. My Instagram is Chloe the Hippie, and we are on Spotify under Chloe and the Steel Strings as well. And currently, I want to say we have about 90 shows booked for 2019. So there will be lots of places to catch us.
That's impressive.
If I survive.
That's impressive. 90 shows.
If I make it. So
Nice. Well, we appreciate your time today.
thank you so much for having me on. It's been
That
awesome.
is a cool guitar strap you got there. I just now
Thank
noticed
you.
that.
Well, so I'm sponsored by a, basically you kind of say it's like a craft store in Minneapolis called Handmade MKE, and they make these guitar straps. So
Very
I have
nice.
a variety of them, but yeah, they're pretty fun. I really love them. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Again, everybody, the KingPlayer TV will be on YouTube, episode however many we had. I forget now. But season 1's coming up soon.
All right.
On Facebook, it's KP7, KingPlayer Official on Instagram, and Twitter is KP71. Chloe, thank you very much. Play us out, and we will see everyone next time.